Hey guys, tonight we are going to take a very different path to sleep. We're stepping away from the chemical solutions and the sleep minus tracking apps, and instead, we're going to explore the calm, holistic, and let's be honest, slightly strange world of ancient Indian Ayurvedic medicine. Don't worry, there's no test at the end. This is about finding rest in a system that's been beta minus tested for about 5 years. It's a tradition that believes your sleep cleanse isn't a glitch to be patched, but a message to be understood. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is for you. I love seeing how far these stories travel. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. It's 2:17 up. Oh, I am. The numbers on your phone glow with a cool, blue indifference. You're lying in bed, but you are not resting. Your body is heavy with exhaustion, a leaden weight beneath the sheets. But your mind is running a marathon. It's sprinting through tomorrow's to-minus-do list, replaying that awkward conversation from last Tuesday, and scrolling through a mental Rolodex of every minor worry it can possibly find. You are tired, but you are wired. You've tried the usual things. You've had the chamomile tea, which was pleasant but did little. You've tried the melatonin gummies, which sometimes work but can leave you feeling groggy. You've downloaded apps that play the sound of rain, or whales, or a strange humming noise that's supposed to be calming, but just sounds like a sad refrigerator. Nothing is touching this deep, restless hum of modern life that seems to have taken up residence behind your eyes. In a moment of quiet desperation, you decide you've had enough. Enough of fighting your body, enough of trying to trick your brain. You want a different way, an older way, and that's when you remember a word you've heard before: Ayurveda. It sounds ancient and mysterious, maybe a little intimidating, but it also sounds gentle. Ayurveda is one of the world's oldest systems of holistic medicine, originating in India thousands of years ago. The name itself comes from two Sanskrit words here, meaning life, and Veda, meaning knowledge or science. So, it is, quite literally, the science of life, and its approach to a problem like sleepiness is fundamentally different from what you're used to. It doesn't see your insomnia as an isolated problem in your brain. It sees it as a sign of a deeper imbalance throughout your entire system. The core principle is balance. Ayurveda teaches that health is the natural state of being, and that illness, whether it's a cold, indigestion, or a racing mind at 2 a.m. arises when we fall out of sync with our unique nature and the rhythms of the world around us. The goal isn't to silence the symptom with a powerful pill, but to gently guide the body and mind back to their natural state of equilibrium. Here's your first strange and quaint idea from this ancient world. Ayurveda has a concept called IMA. IMA is a sticky, toxic residue that can build up in your body and mind. It's the byproduct of things that haven't been properly digested, not just the food you ate too late at night, but also undigested emotions, experiences, and stresses. You think about your racing thoughts, the endless loop of worries. To an Ayurvedic practitioner, that isn't just anxiety. That is the mental manifestation of a more sticky sludge clogging up the channels of your mind, preventing it from settling into a state of clear, peaceful rest. The exact nature of IMA is something that scholars and medical anthropologists are still in a slow, fascinating conversation about. Is it a literal, physical substance that could be found on a lab slide? Or is it a powerful and sophisticated metaphor for the body's inflammatory response and the accumulated load of metabolic and psychological stress? The beauty of the system is that, for the purpose of healing, it doesn't really matter. The protocol is the same. You must gently cleanse the system to allow your natural vitality to flow again. And so, lying there in the blue glow of your phone, you make a decision. Tomorrow, you will seek out this ancient science. You will find a practitioner, a Vaidya, as they are called. You won't ask for a sleeping pill. You will ask for knowledge. You will ask them to help you understand the story your body is trying to tell you. You are tired of the noise. You are ready to listen. Your journey into the quiet, fragrant world of Ayurvedic healing is about to begin. The next afternoon, you find yourself on a busy street. The air thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and the sound of car horns and distant sirens. It's the opposite of calm. You check the address on your phone one last time, and there it is, a simple, dark wooden door, set between a bustling cafe and a mobile phone repair shop. It's unassuming, almost hidden. There's a small, hand-painted sign next to it, with a single, elegant Sanskrit word you don't recognize. And beneath it, in small letters, Center for Ayurvedic Wellness. You take a deep breath, push the door, and step inside. The change is instantaneous and absolute. The first thing that happens is the noise of the street just vanishes. It's not that the room is soundproof in a modern, technical way. It's more like the quality of the silence itself absorbs the chaos from outside. The door clicks shut behind you with a soft, wooden thud, and you are left in a profound and welcome quiet. The only sound is the gentle, hypnotic trickle of water from a small copper fountain in the corner. The second thing that hits you is the smell. It's nothing like the aggressive, synthetic fragrances of a department store perfume counter or the sterile, antiseptic smell of a modern doctor's office. This is a scent that feels ancient, complex, and deeply common. It's a tapestry woven from different threads, the warm, woody sweetness of sandalwood incense, a clean, sharp hint of camphor, the earthy aroma of dried herbs, and a faint, lingering whisper of spices like cardamom and clove. It's a smell that seems to bypass your brain and speak directly to your nervous system, telling it to stand down. Your eyes, accustomed to the harsh daylight and the blue glare of screens, take a moment to adjust. The light in here is soft and golden, filtered through thin, cream-colored cotton curtains. There are no harsh overhead fluorescent lights, only a few small lamps with brass bases that cast warm pools of light onto the dark, polished wooden floor. The walls are painted a soothing, earthy ochre, and they are mostly bare, except for a few intricate charts depicting the human body crisscrossed with lines and mysterious symbols, all labeled in elegant Sanskrit script. There is no plastic here. Everything you see is made from natural materials. The chairs are made of dark wood with woven cane seats. There are shelves filled with glass jars and ceramic pots containing dark powders and dried leaves. In a corner, a collection of gleaming copper and brass vessels sits on a low table. The whole environment feels alive, breathing. It's a space designed not for sterile efficiency, but for human comfort. This, you realize, is part of the treatment. The clinic itself is a prescription. The ancient architects of Ayurveda believed that our environment profoundly affects our well-minus being. The colors we see, the sounds we hear, the materials we touch, they all have a subtle but constant effect on our inner balance. And there's a debate that continues to this day among researchers how much of the calm you're feeling is due to the specific, scientifically proven effects of these colors, scents, and sounds, and how much is the simple, powerful effect of stepping into a space that is so intentionally and radically different from the stressful world outside. Is it the sandalwood, or is it the sanctuary? For now, you don't care. It's working. From a room at the back, a figure emerges, not a doctor in a crisp white coat, rushing from one patient to the next. This is the Vaidya. She is an older woman with kind, intelligent eyes, and she moves with an unhurried grace. She's wearing a simple, elegant cotton sari, the color of saffron. She gives you a small, warm smile, a gesture of genuine welcome, not professional courtesy. There is no receptionist, no clipboard with forms to fill out, no request for your insurance information. There is just this calm, present human being. Namaste, she says. Her voice is gentle as the trickling water. Please, come in, sit. She leads you to a small, quiet room containing nothing more than a simple wooden desk and chairs. She gestures for you to take a seat. And as you do, you feel the tension in your shoulders, a knot you didn't even realize you were carrying, begin to soften. You haven't even described your symptoms yet, but you feel heard, seen. The healing has already begun. You're in a place where the pace is different, where the priorities are different. You are here to talk about your life, not just your lack of sleep, and the Veda is about to start by listening not to your words, but to the silent story being told inside your own body. The Veda sits opposite you, her presence calm and attentive. She doesn't pull out a laptop or a prescription pad. Instead, she simply asks, "So, what brings you here today?" You begin to explain. You talk about the sleep swings, the 2 a.m. racing thoughts, the feeling of being tired and wired, the anxiety that hums just beneath the surface of your days. You describe the mental and physical exhaustion. She listens patiently, her gaze never leaving yours, nodding gently. She doesn't interrupt, doesn't rush you. She lets the story unfold at its own pace. When you finish, she doesn't offer an immediate diagnosis or quick reassurance. She simply says, "I understand. Now, may I see your wrist?" You extend your arm across the desk, and she places 3 fingers, her index, middle, and ring finger gently onto the inside of your wrist, right over your radial artery. Her touch is light but firm, incredibly precise. And then she closes her eyes. This is Nadi K-SHA, the ancient art of pulse diagnosis. To a modern, Western-minded trained doctor, the pulse is a simple metronome, a way to measure the rate and rhythm of the heartbeat. To a Vaidya, the pulse is an intricate, flowing river of information, a detailed diagnostic tool that reveals the state of your entire body, mind, and spirit. It's one of the most sophisticated and subtle skills in Ayurveda, one that takes a lifetime to master. As her fingers rest on your wrist, she isn't just counting beats per minute. She is feeling for qualities. With her index finger, she is listening for the tail signs of one of the body's fundamental energies. With her middle finger, another. And with her ring finger, the third, she is feeling for the pulse's speed, its volume, its rhythm, and its character. Is it fast, thin, and threadwise, like a snake slithering through the grass? Is it strong, sharp, and bounding, like a frog hopping? Or is it slow, deep, and wavy, like a swan gliding through water? Each of these subtle variations tells a story. It speaks of the balance of energies within you, the health of your organs, the presence of those sticky toxins called AMA, and even the state of your mind. A skilled Vaidya can supposedly detect imbalances long before they manifest as full-blown physical symptoms. It's a form of preventative medicine at its most refined. Here's a curious detail about this ancient practice. The Vaidya is feeling for much more than a single pulse. Ayurvedic texts describe a multitude of subtle pulses located at different depths beneath the skin, each one corresponding to a different organ or tissue layer. The Vaidya is, in a sense, reading a 3-dimensional map of your inner world, all through the tips of her fingers. The scientific basis for Nadi K-SHA is, as you can imagine, a subject of intense debate and ongoing research. Modern science is beginning to explore how the pulse wave, measured with sensitive modern equipment, contains far more information than just a simple heart rate. The shape of the pressure wave can be influenced by the elasticity of the arteries, blood viscosity, and the functioning of the nervous system. Is it possible that what the ancient Vaidyas were detecting with their exquisitely trained fingers was a real, measurable phenomenon that we are only now beginning to understand with our technology? Or is the practice more of an intuitive art form, a meditative connection between practitioner and patient that allows for a deeper kind of knowing? The Ayurvedic tradition would say it is both a precise science and a profound art. After a few minutes of silent concentration, the Vaidya opens her eyes. She removes her fingers from your wrist and gives you another small, knowing smile. "I see," she says softly. "There is a great deal of movement in your system. A lot of wind. It is blowing through your mind and preventing it from finding stillness." She hasn't used a single piece of modern technology. She has not through blood tests or an MRI. Yet, with 3 fingers on your wrist, she has given you a perfect, poetic description of how you feel a mind buffeted by an internal wind. She has read the story that you couldn't quite put into words. This diagnosis isn't a label of a disease you have. It's a description of an imbalance. And now that she understands the nature of your personal imbalance, she can begin to explain the framework she will use to guide you back to a state of calm. She is about to introduce you to your own unique blueprint, the very foundation of your being according to Ayurvedic wisdom. To understand the imbalance, the Veda begins, her voice soft and methodical. We must first understand your unique, natural balance. In Ayurveda, we call this your Prakriti. She explains that Prakriti is your essential nature, your inborn constitution. It's a concept that is fundamentally different from the one-size-fits-all approach of much of modern medicine. Your Prakriti is your personal blueprint for health, established at the moment of your conception and remaining with you for your entire life. It determines your physical build, your metabolic tendencies, the texture of your hair, the sound of your voice, your emotional inclinations, and even the way you are likely to fall out of balance. She tells you that your Prakriti is like your factory settings. It's the state of equilibrium that your body and mind are always trying to return to. The goal of Ayurveda is not to change your Prakriti. You can change your fundamental nature, but to understand it, honor it, and live in harmony with it. All the advice you will receive, from the foods you should eat to the type of exercise you should do, will be tailored specifically to your unique constitution. This is a profoundly personal approach to wellness. In this system, there is no single healthy diet or perfect workout for everyone. A diet that is wonderfully nourishing for one person might be aggravating and imbalance, minus creating for another. A vigorous, high-intensity workout that energizes one person might completely deplete and exhaust someone else. The Veda explains that your Prakriti is determined by the specific combination of three fundamental energies, or Doshas, that were present when you were formed. Everything in the universe, including you, she says, gesturing with her hand to encompass everything from the chair you're sitting on to the stars outside, is made of a combination of these three basic energies. You might be predominantly one dosha, or a combination of two, or, in very rare cases, a relatively equal balance of all three. For example, a person with a predominantly fiery constitution will have a very different set of strengths and weaknesses than someone with a more earthy one. The fiery person might have a sharp intellect and strong digestion but be prone to anger, inflammation, and skin rashes. The earthy person might be calm, loyal, and physically strong but have a tendency towards sluggishness, weight gain, and melancholy. Understanding your Prakriti is like being given the owner's manual for your own body. It helps you understand why you are the way you are. Why do you always feel cold when others are comfortable? Why do you have a natural tendency to be a night owl? Why can your friend eat anything without gaining a pound, while you seem to gain weight just by looking at a piece of cake? Ayurveda would suggest that the answers lie in your Prakriti. Here's a curious detail that distinguishes Ayurveda from many other systems. It makes a clear distinction between your inborn nature, Prakriti, and your current state of imbalance, Vikriti. The Veda has just read your Vikriti in your pulse, the windy imbalance that is causing your sleepless nights. But she is also assessing your underlying Prakriti through observation and conversation. She's looking at the shape of your face, the size of your bones, the way you speak, the words you choose. Her goal is to understand who you are at your core, so she can see how far you have strayed from that core balance. The entire treatment plan will be designed to close that gap. There's an ongoing academic and philosophical discussion about the concept of Prakriti. Is it a fixed, unchangeable genetic blueprint, as traditional Ayurveda suggests, or is it a more dynamic constitution that can be subtly influenced by life experiences and environment over time? Modern epigenetics, the study of how our genes can be turned on or off by lifestyle and environmental factors, seems to suggest a reality that's a blend of both a core, stable nature that also has a remarkable capacity for adaptation. It's another instance where ancient wisdom and modern science seem to be slowly walking towards each other, speaking different languages, but describing a similar landscape. The Veda looks at you with a gentle, appraising gaze. From our conversation, and from your pulse, she says, I can see the qualities of your nature. But to understand what is happening now, You need to understand the three energies themselves. You need to meet Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. She is about to give you the key that unlocks the entire system. The three characters that are constantly dancing, competing, and collaborating inside you and in the world all around you. The three doshas Vata, Pitta, and Kapha are the foundation of everything. The Veda explains, they are not substances you can see under a microscope. They are principles of intelligence, patterns of energy that govern all the functions of the universe and your own body-mind system. She picks up a simple brass cup from her desk to illustrate. This cup has Kapha, the energy of structure that gives it its solid form. It has Pitta, the energy of transformation that allowed the metal to be heated and shaped. And it has Vata, the energy of movement that allows me to pick it up and move it through space. She begins with Vata. Vata, she says, is the energy of movement. She makes a light, flowing gesture with her hand. Think of the wind. It is composed of the elements of space and air. It is light, dry, cold, rough, subtle, and mobile. In your body, Vata governs everything that moves. The blinking of your eyes, the beating of your heart, the flow of your breath, the transmission of nerve impulses from your brain. It is the force behind creativity, enthusiasm, and flexibility. A person with a Vata- dominant constitution, she explains, will embody these qualities. They are often thin and lanky, with delicate bone structures. They move and speak quickly. They are creative, imaginative, and full of ideas. They learn fast and forget fast. When in balance, they are the artists, the visionaries, the communicators. But when Vata gets out of balance, that same airy, mobile energy can turn into anxiety, restlessness, and fear. The wind begins to blow too hard, scattering their thoughts and drying out their system, leading to things like dry skin, cracking joints, constipation, and, of course, a racing, sleepless mind. Next, she describes Pitta. Pitta is the energy of transformation. She says, her voice taking on a slightly sharper, more focused quality. Think of fire. It is composed of the elements of fire and a little bit of water. It is hot, sharp, light, oily, and spreading in your body. Pitta is your metabolic fire. It governs digestion, absorption, body temperature, and the processing of information. It is the force of intelligence, discernment, and leadership. A Pitta- dominant person is often of medium build, with a strong, penetrating gaze and a warm body temperature. They have sharp minds, a powerful appetite, and a natural ability to lead and organize. When in balance, they are the brilliant scientists, the effective CEOs, the passionate advocates for justice. But when Pitta flares up, that fire can become destructive. It can manifest as anger, irritability, and criticism. Physically, it can lead to inflammation, skin rashes, acid indigestion, and burning sensations. They can become too intense, too driven, burning themselves and others out. Finally, she introduces Kapha. Kapha is the energy of structure and lubrication. She says, her voice becoming slower, deeper, more grounded. Think of the earth and water. It is composed of these two elements. It is heavy, so cool, oily, smooth, and stable. In your body, Kapha is the glue that holds you together. It forms your physical structure, your bones, muscles, and fat. It lubricates your joints, moisturizes your skin, and provides the fluid medium for all your life processes. It is the force of love, compassion, stability, and endurance. A Kapha- dominant person tends to have a solid, sturdy build and a calm, gentle nature. They are loving, loyal, and patient. They have great physical strength and stamina. They are the bedrock of society, the loving parents, the steadfast friends, the reliable caregivers. But when Kapha accumulates in excess, that stability can turn into stagnation. It can manifest emotionally as lethargy, attachment, and resistance to change. Physically, it can lead to weight gain, congestion, allergies, and a feeling of heavy-limbed sluggishness. Here's a subtle but crucial point that is often debated among Ayurvedic scholars and philosophers. Are the doshas purely metaphorical categories, or do they correspond to specific, modern physiological systems? Vata seems to map beautifully onto the nervous system. It aligns almost perfectly with the endocrine and digestive systems. Kapha has clear parallels with the lymphatic and musculoskeletal systems. The ancient Vedas, without the tools of modern anatomy, seem to have created a poetic, functional map of the human body that is surprisingly congruent with what we know today. They were describing the function, not just the form. These three energies are always in a state of dynamic play within you. The Veda concludes, everyone has all three, but in a unique, personal ratio. That is your prakriti. Your current problem, your sleep sense, your racing thoughts, is your vikriti, your current state of imbalance. And based on what you've told me and what I felt in your pulse, it is very clear which energy is causing the disturbance. She looks at you kindly. You have an excess of water. The wind is blowing too strongly. An excess of water. The Veda repeats, letting the phrase settle in the quiet room. The qualities of water are light, dry, cold, rough, and mobile. Does this feel familiar to you? You think about it. Lightness, your thoughts feel untethered, floating from one worry to the next without landing. Dryness, you've noticed your skin and hair have been unusually dry lately. Coldness, you often feel a chill, even when others are warm. Roughness, there's a certain abrasive quality to your anxiety. A scratchiness in your nerves. And mobility, everything feels like it's in constant, restless motion. The description is uncannily accurate. It's a poem about your internal state. The Veda explains that in a balanced state, Vata is a wonderful energy. It's the source of your creativity, your quick thinking, your ability to make connections that others don't see. It's the spark that gives you enthusiasm for new projects. But modern life, she says, is a Vata minus aggravating machine. Think about your day, she suggests. You are constantly moving, rushing from one task to the next. You are bombarded with information from screens, light, fast, and constantly changing. You eat your meals quickly, sometimes standing up or in your car. You travel at high speeds. You are exposed to the constant noise and stimulation of the city. All of these things are inherently Vata minus like. They are all light, fast, and noble. For a person with a Vata nature, a lifestyle like this is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It overstimulates an already sensitive system. She explains that when Vata becomes excessive, it doesn't stay in its own lane. The wind of Vata is so powerful and mobile that it can start to blow the other two doshas, Pitta and Kapha, out of balance as well. It's often the first domino to fall. This rogue Vata energy can push the fire of Pitta, leading to anxiety mixed with irritability, or it can dry out the earthy Kapha, leading to a strange state of being exhausted but unable to rest. Your sleep cleanse, she says, is a classic sign of high Vata. The mind, governed by Vata, is meant to be a tool that you can pick up and use when you need it, and then set down when you are done. When Vata is high, you lose the ability to set the tool down. The wind of your thoughts keeps blowing, scattering any chance of peace or stillness. It's like trying to have a quiet conversation in the middle of a hurricane. Here's a curious detail from Ayurvedic texts about the seat of Vata in the body. While Vata moves everywhere, its primary home is considered to be the colon. This is why Vata often manifests as gas, bloating, and constipation. But more importantly, Ayurveda has understood for thousands of years that there is a profound connection between the state of your colon and the state of your mind. They disturb. When the irregular colon leads to a disturbed, when the irregular mind, the idea of a gut minus brain axis, a revolutionary concept in modern medicine, has been a cornerstone of Ayurvedic pathology for millennia. Your anxiety isn't just in your head, it's in your gut. The Veda explains that the entire strategy for your healing will be based on a simple, common minus sense principle, the law of opposites. To balance the light, dry, cold, and mobile qualities of excess Vata, you must intentionally bring in the opposing qualities. You need to cultivate heaviness, moisture, warmth, instability. We are not going to fight the wind, she says, which is a profound relief to hear. You've been fighting it for months, and it has only made you more tired. We are going to calm the wind. We will do this gently, through every aspect of your life, through your daily routine, the food you eat, the way you use your senses. We are going to create a container of warmth and stability, so the wind inside you has a chance to settle down. There is, of course, a quiet, ongoing conversation among historians and practitioners about the nuances of Vata. Is it one single wind, or is it, as some classical texts describe, 5 distinct types of Vata prana: Udana, Samara, Apena, and Viyana, each governing a different type of movement in a different direction. For instance, Pranavayu governs the inward movement of breath, while Apanavayu governs all downward and outward elimination. Your sleep swings could be seen as a disturbance in Pranavayu, a failure of the mind's energy to move inward and downward into a state of rest. But for your purposes, the Vaidya keeps it simple. The wind is blowing too high. The prescription is to build a shelter, and the first brick in that shelter is to realign your life with the most powerful, stable rhythm of all. The first and most important prescription I have for you has nothing to do with herbs or medicines. The Vaidya says, it is about time. You must begin to live in rhythm with the sun. She introduces you to the concept of Dinacharya. Dina means day and Acharya means to follow or routine. It is the Ayurvedic art of the daily routine, a structured sequence of simple practices designed to keep your doshas in balance and align your personal energy with the great cosmic clock of nature. For a system struggling with an excess of Vata, the dosha of mobility and irregularity, a predictable, grounding routine is the most powerful medicine of all. Vata thrives on chaos and gets depleted by it. A stable routine provides the container, the gentle structure that allows the wind to settle down. Nature has its own clock, she explains, and each part of the day is governed by one of the 3 doshas. If we live in a way that is contrary to this natural rhythm, we create imbalance. The first step to calming your Vata is to honor this clock. She pulls out one of the elegant charts from her desk. It's a circle, representing the 24-hour day, divided into sections. She shows you that the hours from approximately 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. are the Vata time of day. This is a time of movement, lightness, and subtle energy. This, she explains, is why you often wake up during these hours with a racing mind. The Vata energy in the atmosphere is high, and it is amplifying the excess Vata already in your system. But here's the quaint Ayurvedic twist. The best way to deal with this, she says, is not to fight it, it's to use it. She tells you that you should aim to wake up before the sun, before 6 a.m. The ancient yogas and drishas considered this time, known as Brahma Muhurta, to be the most spiritually potent time of day. The mind is naturally clearer, more settled, and more receptive to meditation and quiet contemplation. By waking up in this Vata time, you are harnessing its light, clear quality for a positive purpose, rather than letting it manifest as late-night anxiety. You feel a sense of resistance. Waking up earlier seems like a strange prescription for someone who can't sleep, but she explains the logic. If you sleep into the next phase of the day, the Kapha time from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., you will feel it. Kapha is heavy, slow, and dense. Waking up in Kapha time makes you feel groggy, dull, and lethargic all day. You are starting your day in a state of stagnation. The rest of the day follows a similar logic. The hours from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. are Pitta time. The fire in the atmosphere is at its peak, and so is your digestive fire. This, she says, is when you should eat your main meal of the day. Your body is best equipped to digest and assimilate a large meal at this time. Eating a light lunch and a heavy dinner, as many modern people do, is working directly against your body's natural rhythm. The afternoon, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., is another Vata period. This is when the Vata energy of creativity can be high, but it's also when you're most likely to feel a dip in energy and a sense of scatteredness. It's a good time for less demanding tasks. Then comes the evening, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is Kapha time again. This is a time for winding down the heavy, slow, grounding nature of Kapha as a gift from nature to help you prepare for sleep. This is the time to engage in quiet, calming activities, reading a gentle book, listening to soft music, spending time with loved ones. If you push through this Kapha time with stimulating activities, working late, watching an action movie, getting into a heated argument, you will enter the next phase of the night, the Pitta time from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., feeling wired and alert. This Pitta time is when the body does most of its metabolic housekeeping. If you are still awake, you might get a second wind of energy, making it even harder to fall asleep. The effectiveness of Dinacharya is a subject of fascinating modern research. The scientific field of Chronobiology has confirmed, in great detail, what the ancient Vedas seemed to know intuitively. Our bodies are governed by circadian rhythms, a 24-hour internal clock that regulates everything from hormone release to body temperature to cell repair. Light exposure, meal timing, and sleep schedules have a profound impact on this clock. The Ayurvedic Dinacharya can be seen as a beautiful, poetic, and highly practical guide to living in harmony with our own biological clock. The debate isn't about if it works, but how the ancients figured it out with such precision. This is your first task, the Veda says with a kind smile. Do not try to be perfect, simply begin. Try to wake a little earlier. Try to eat your main meal in the middle of the day. Try to be winding down by 10 p.m. Create a rhythm. Give your Vata the gift of predictability. This is the foundation upon which all the other healing will be built. And the very first step in this new routine begins the moment you get out of bed. The very first thing you should do upon waking. The Veda instructs, her tone practical and clear. Before you drink your water, before you check your phone, is to clean your tongue. She gestures to a small, elegantly curved object on her desk. It looks like a thin, U-shaped piece of copper or stainless steel. This is a tongue scraper. It's a simple, low-tech tool, but in the world of Ayurveda, it's a non-negotiable part of the morning routine, or Dinacharya. The logic, she explains, is rooted in the concept of AMA, that sticky residue of undigested material we talked about earlier. During the night, while you are sleeping, your digestive system is in a state of rest, but your body is still hard at work. It's performing a deep clean, gathering up all the metabolic waste products, toxins, and undigested food particles from your system. One of the primary exit routes for this AMA is through the tongue. In the morning, she says, you will notice a coating on your tongue. The color and thickness of this coating tells a story about your digestion and your overall health. For someone with a Vata imbalance, it might be a thin, brownish coating. For a Pitta type, it might be more yellowish. For Kapha, it's often thick, white, and mucus-like. This coating is AMA. It is the physical evidence of what your body has been trying to eliminate while you slept. If you don't remove this coating, she explains, what happens when you take your first sip of water or your first bite of breakfast? You ingest. You are swallowing back the very toxins your body worked all night to expel. It's like taking the trash out of your house, leaving it on the doorstep, and then bringing it right back inside in the morning. Tongue scraping, or Ashwagandha, is the simple, mechanical act of removing this waste. You hold the scraper by its two ends, extend your tongue, and gently glide the curved edge from the back of the tongue to the front, 7 to 10 times. With each pass, you rinse off the accumulated gunk. Here's a curious and slightly strange detail. Ayurvedic tradition sees the tongue as a map of the entire body, just as in reflexology, where the feet are a map of the organs. The tongue is believed to have specific areas that correspond to the lungs, the heart, the stomach, the intestines, and so on. By scraping the entire surface of the tongue, you are not just cleaning it, you are also giving a gentle massage to all your internal organs, stimulating them and waking them up for the day. The Veda explains the benefits go beyond just removing toxins. The act of scraping stimulates the salivary glands, which helps to start your digestive fire, or Agni, for the day. It also enhances your sense of taste. When your taste buds are not covered by a layer of AMA, your food tastes better. This makes you more satisfied with your meals and can even help prevent cravings. A clearer sense of taste also means you are receiving better in from your food, a key part of the digestive process. The debate among modern dentists and doctors about tongue scraping is an interesting one. While the concept of AMA isn't part of the Western medical lexicon, the benefits of the practice are increasingly recognized. Scientific studies have shown that tongue scraping is significantly more effective than toothbrushing at removing the bacteria and volatile sulfur compounds that cause bad breath. It reduces the overall bacterial load in the mouth, which can have positive effects on oral hygiene and even cardiovascular health, as oral bacteria have been linked to systemic inflammation. So, while the language might be different, a dentist talks about bacteria, a Vaidya talks about AMA. The conclusion is the same: cleaning your tongue is good for you. This is a small act of self-love. The Vaidya says, holding up the simple metal scraper. It takes less than a minute, but it sends a powerful message to your body. It says, I am paying attention. I am helping you in your work of staying clean and clear. For a mind that feels cluttered and overwhelmed by Vata, this simple, grounding ritual of purification can be incredibly calming. It's a clean start, literally. She hands you a beautiful, gleaming copper tongue scraper. Copper is naturally antimicrobial, she mentions, making it a traditional and ideal material for the job. You hold it in your hand. It feels cool, solid, and purposeful. It seems like such a small, quaint, almost trivial thing, but it's your next step. A concrete action to begin your day, not with the chaotic influx of information from a screen, but with a quiet, mindful act of cleansing. You are learning to tend to your body's needs, one gentle scrape at a time. After you have cleansed your tongue and had a glass of warm water, we must think about your food. The Vaidya continues, what you eat is one of the most powerful tools you have to either aggravate or pacify the doshas. We must eat to calm the wind. This principle forms the cornerstone of Ayurvedic nutrition. It's not about counting calories, measuring macronutrients, or following a rigid, restrictive diet. It's about choosing foods with qualities that will counteract the qualities of your imbalance. Since your excess vata is cold, dry, light, and rough, your diet should be the opposite: warm, moist, heavy in a grounding way, and smooth. Think of your food as a warm, oily blanket for your nervous system, she says, a beautifully simple and comforting image. She explains that a Vata- pacifying diet isn't about deprivation. It's about nourishment. You need foods that are cooked, warm, and easy to digest. Raw food, like salads and raw vegetables, while seemingly healthy, possesses the same cold, dry, and rough qualities as Vata. For a system already overloaded with Vata, a big raw salad can be like throwing a pile of dry leaves onto a weak fire that can extinguish your digestive flame, or agni, leading to gas, bloating, and more imbalance. So, your prescription is for warm, soupy, comforting foods. Think hearty stews, thick soups, roasted root vegetables, and well-cooked grains like rice and oats. The best tastes for Vata are sweet, sour, and salty, as these flavors are naturally grounding or nourishing. The tastes to reduce are pungent, bitter, and astringent, as these are drying and aggravating to Vata. The Vaidya then introduces you to the quintessential Ayurvedic healing food, a dish that is both a simple meal and a powerful medicine: khichdi. Khichdi, sometimes spelled khd, is a simple, soupy stew made from split mung beans and basmati rice, cooked with a blend of gentle, digestive spices. It is considered the perfect food in Ayurveda. It's a complete protein, it's incredibly easy to digest, and it has a gentle cleansing effect on the entire system. It is the food you eat when you are sick, when you are cleansing, or when you just need to give your digestive system a break. She explains the magic of the ingredients. Basmati rice is considered sweet and cooling. Split mung beans are unique among legumes because they are astringent, but also have a sweet after-effect. And most importantly, they are the easiest bean to digest, not producing the gas that other beans do, a crucial point for calming Vata. Then come the spices. The recipe isn't complete without them. A typical Kitchari spice mix includes turmeric, a powerful anti-inflammatory, cumin and coriander which aid digestion, ginger to kindle the digestive fire, and a pinch of asafoetida, or hing, a pungent resin that famously helps to prevent gas and bloating. Everything is cooked in a little bit of ghee, or clarified butter. Ghee is highly prized in Ayurveda as a healthy fat that nourishes the body's tissues and helps carry the healing properties of the herbs and spices deep into the system. A warm, soupy bowl of Kitchari is the epitome of a Vata- pacifying meal. It is warm, it is moist, it is smooth, and it is incredibly grounding. It's the culinary equivalent of a hug. Here's a detail that modern nutrition is only just beginning to appreciate: the Ayurvedic emphasis on digestibility. The Veda explains, it does not matter how many nutrients a food has if you cannot digest it. What you digest is more important than what you eat. The focus is on strengthening your digestive fire, your Agni, so that you can absorb the maximum nourishment from your food and create a minimum of that sticky toxic residue. Kitchari is designed to be so easy on the system that it allows your Agni to rest and recover. The debate around the healthiest diet is endless in the modern world. Is it paleo, vegan, keto, vegetarian? Ayurveda steps back from this debate and asks a different set of questions. What are the qualities of this food? What are the qualities of the person eating it? What is the season? What is the state of their digestive fire? A food historian would note that Kitchari, in its many regional variations, has been a staple food in India for thousands of years, a testament to its nourishing, sustainable, and satisfying nature. It's not a fad diet. It's ancestral wisdom in a bowl. The Veda doesn't give you a strict, complicated meal plan. She gives you principles. Favor warm, cooked foods. Use healthy oils like ghee or sesame oil. Sit down when you eat. Pay attention to your food. Chew it well. And when you feel overwhelmed, make yourself a simple bowl of Kitchari. Nourish yourself. Calm the wind. When warm, soupy spoonful at a time. Your path to healing isn't just about what you do, but also about what you eat. And as the day ends, it's about the space where you finally come to rest. Your day ends where your sleep begins. The Veda says, shifting the focus to the final, crucial hours before bed. Your bedroom should not be a multi-purpose room. It should not be an office, a cinema, or a dining room. It must be a sanctuary, a space dedicated solely to rest, intimacy, and sleep. This prescription is about creating an environment that actively signals to your Vata-driven mind that it's time to power down. The wind of Vata is easily disturbed by sensory input. A chaotic, stimulating bedroom environment will only amplify the chaos in your mind. To calm the wind, you must create a calm space. She gives you a series of simple, practical instructions. First, remove the clutter, piles of clothes, stacks of books and papers, and unfinished projects are all visual representations of a 2-do list. They are silent stressors that keep your mind tethered to the responsibilities of the day. A clear, uncluttered space creates a clear, uncluttered mind. Second, and this is the most important and perhaps the most difficult rule, the bedroom must become a no-screen zone. The blue light from phones, tablets, and televisions is a well-known enemy of sleep. It disrupts the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycles. But from an Ayurvedic perspective, it's more than just the light. The content you consume on these screens, the news, the dramatic shows, the endless scroll of social media is inherently agitating to Vata. It is light, dust moving, and emotionally charged information. It's the digital equivalent of a stiff wind, and you are blowing it directly into your mind right at the moment you should be seeking stillness. At least 1 hour before you intend to sleep, the Veda advises, all screens must be turned off. This is non-negotiable if you are serious about calming your mind. Instead, She suggests you fill that last hour with Vata- pacifying activities. The lighting should be soft and warm, coming from low- wattage lamps, not harsh overhead lights. The sounds should be gentle. This could be soft, calming music without lyrics, or even better, the simple sound of silence. The activity should be calming and repetitive. Reading a physical book, something gentle and inspiring, not a thriller. Doing some light stretching, or sipping a cup of warm, spiced milk. Here's a specific, quaint detail from the Ayurvedic tradition for creating a calming bedroom: the use of color and fabric. Vata is soothed by warm, earthy colors. Think soft creams, gentle peaches, warm ochres, and deep, grounding browns. Your bedding and curtains should be made of soft, natural fabrics like cotton or silk. Rough, scratchy fabrics are aggravating to the sensitive Vata nature. The ideal Vata bedroom is like a cozy, warm, soft nest. It should feel safe, contained, and deeply comforting. The Veda also emphasizes the importance of temperature. Vata is a cold dosha, so your sanctuary must be comfortably warm. A cold, drafty room will prevent your nervous system from relaxing fully. A warm bath or shower before bed can be an excellent way to bring warmth into the body and signal that it's time to unwind. The scientific support for these sleep hygiene principles is overwhelming. The field of sleep medicine has independently arrived at almost all the same conclusions as Ayurveda. Studies have demonstrated the negative impact of clutter on mental well-being, the profound effect of blue light on circadian rhythms, and the benefits of a cool -down period before bed. The ongoing debate is less about the what and more about the why. A sleep scientist might explain the effect of a warm bath in terms of thermoregulation. The subsequent drop in body temperature after the bath signals the brain to produce melatonin. Ayurveda would explain it in the poetic language of Doshas. The bath brings the opposing quality of warmth to balance the coldness of Vata. The result is the same: a better night's sleep. Your evening routine, the Veda concludes, is your sacred time to transition from the world of doing to the world of being. You must consciously and deliberately let go of the day. You are creating a buffer zone between your busy, Vata-driven life and the deep, restorative peace of sleep. This sanctuary is the physical container for your rest. Then she will teach you a ritual to prepare your body to inhabit it, a loving, gentle practice to soothe your skin and your soul. Now I will teach you one of the most profound and loving practices for calming Vata. The Veda says it is called Abhyuay. She explains that Abhyuay is the ancient Ayurvedic ritual of self-massage with warm oil. The word itself can be translated as moving energy into the limbs, but a more poetic and accurate translation is simply loving hands. It is not a deep tissue massage designed to work out knots in the muscles. It is a gentle, rhythmic application of oil to the entire body, a practice that is as much about nourishing the nervous system as it is about moisturizing the skin. The skin, she explains, is one of the primary organs of Vata. It is where we feel the wind, the cold, and the roughness of the world. It is also, in a very real sense, the organ of touch. For a Vata imbalance, which is characterized by feelings of anxiety, loneliness, and a sense of being ungrounded, the sensation of warm, loving touch is a powerful antidote. The prescription is simple. You are to perform this ritual in the morning, before your bath or shower, or in the evening to wind down before bed. The best oil for pacifying Vata, she tells you, is sesame oil. In Ayurveda, sesame oil is considered heavy, warming, and deeply nourishing. It has the perfect qualities to counteract the light, cold, and dry nature of Vata. You should gently warm the oil first by placing the bottle in a mug of hot water. Applying cold oil to the body would only aggravate Vata more. The process she describes is like a moving meditation. You start with your head, massaging a small amount of oil into your scalp. Then you move to your face and your outer ears. The ears are a key site of Vata, and oiling them is considered especially calming. You then proceed down your body, using long, flowing strokes on your limbs and circular strokes on your joints, shoulders, elbows, knees, ankles. You spend extra time on your feet, which are a crucial connection to the earth and another important site of Vata. The whole process should be done with a sense of love and care, not as a mechanical chore. You are anointing yourself, tending to your own body with the same care you would give to a beloved child. You should let the oil soak in for at least 15-20 minutes before washing it off in a warm shower. The warm water helps the oil penetrate deeper into the tissues, and you don't need to scrub it off aggressively with soap. The goal is to leave a light, protective, moisturizing layer on the skin. Here's a beautiful, subtle detail about the practice. The Sanskrit word for oil, sneha, also means love. The act of oiling the body is therefore seen as an act of saturating yourself with love. It is a powerful practice of self-care that reaffirms your connection to your own body, treating it not as a machine that has broken down, but as a living organism worthy of tenderness and affection. The scientific perspective on API is fascinating. We know that massage stimulates the release of oxytocin, often called the love hormone or cuddle chemical, which promotes feelings of relaxation, trust, and well-being. It also reduces levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone. The rhythmic, repetitive strokes are deeply calming to the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, and activating to the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response. The warm sesame oil itself is rich in antioxidants and has anti-inflammatory properties. So, while the Veda speaks of calming Vata and saturating the tissues with sneha, the modern neuroscientist speaks of down- regulating the HPA axis and increasing vagal tone. They are different languages describing the same profound, positive outcome. There is a lingering question for both historians and scientists. Did the ancient practitioners understand the specific biochemical effects? Or did they arrive at these practices through thousands of years of empirical observation, noticing simply that this practice made people feel calmer, sleep better, and live with more vitality? It's a classic chicken minus and minus egg puzzle of ancient wisdom. Do not see this as another task to add to your list. The Veda advises gently. See it as a gift you are giving to yourself. A few minutes each day to wrap your entire nervous system in a warm, oily, loving blanket. It will protect you from the harshness of the world and the harshness of your own mind. It will make you feel safe, grounded, and contained. It is the perfect medicine for the wind. You are learning that the path to a quiet mind runs not just through your stomach, but also through your skin. And now, you'll learn to soothe it through your nose. The sense of smell. The Veda says, gesturing to the thin, blue-gray ribbon of smoke curling upwards from a stick of incense in the corner, is the most ancient and direct path to the brain. What you breathe in has an immediate effect on your thoughts and emotions. We must use this to our advantage. She explains that just as foods have qualities that can balance the doshas, so do scents. This is the science of aromatherapy, an integral part of Ayurveda for thousands of years, for your Vata imbalance, which is rooted in the light and mobile elements of air and space. You need scents that are the opposite grounding, warm, sweet, and calming. The goal is to use these fragrances in your evening sanctuary to create an olfactory signal for your brain to wind down. When you consistently smell a certain scent while you are relaxing, your brain begins to form a powerful association. Eventually, the scent itself becomes a trigger for the relaxation response. It's a form of classical conditioning, a quaint Pavlovian trick for your anxious mind. The Veda tells you about the king of Vata pacifying scent, sandalwood. Sandalwood has a deep, rich, sweet, woody aroma that is simultaneously grounding and spiritually uplifting. It is considered one of the most sattvic, or pure and harmonious, substances in Ayurveda. For centuries, it has been used in temples and during meditation to quiet the mind and promote a state of serene contemplation. The scent of sandalwood is like an anchor for the scattered Vata mind. You can use it as incense, in an essential oil diffuser, or even by applying a tiny dab of high-quality sandalwood oil to your temples or your third eye before bed. Another powerful scent for Vata is jasmine. While sandalwood is grounding, jasmine is calming and emotionally uplifting. It has a sweet, heady, floral aroma that is known to soothe anxiety and ease nervous tension. It's particularly useful if your sleep cleanse is accompanied by feelings of worry or sadness. The Veda notes that it's important to use the pure, natural essential oil, as synthetic jasmine fragrances can be cloying and have the opposite, irritating effect. She also mentions other earthy and sweet scents that are good for Vata. Frankincense, with its resinous, ancient aroma, is deeply calming and purifying. Rose can soothe the heart and calm irritability, which is useful if your Vata imbalance is stirring up a bit of Pitta fire. Sweet, warm spices like cinnamon and cardamom, diffused gently, can create a sense of comfort and nourishment. Here's a specific and slightly strange Ayurvedic practice involving the nose. Nasya. Nasya is the practice of applying medicated oil directly into the nasal passages. The Veda explains that the nose is considered the doorway to the consciousness. Applying a few drops of warm, herb-infused sesame oil into each nostril is believed to directly lubricate the delicate passages, soothe the nervous system, and clear the subtle channels of the mind. For a Vata imbalance manifesting as anxiety, racing thoughts, or even tension headaches, Nasya is a primary treatment. It might sound unusual, but the sensation of the warm, herbal oil is incredibly grounding and calming. Modern science provides a clear rationale for why this works so well. The olfactory bulb, the part of the brain that processes smell, is directly connected to the limbic system, which is the seat of our emotions and memories. This is why a certain smell like freshly baked bread or the perfume of a grandparent can trigger such a powerful and immediate emotional response. It's a neurological superhighway. The scents of sandalwood or jasmine are not just nice smells. They are complex chemical compounds that interact directly with your brain chemistry to promote calm. There is, of course, a debate in the scientific community about the precise efficacy and mechanisms of aromatherapy. While the calming effects of scents like lavender, which is also good for Vata, are well documented, the more specific claims of ancient systems are still being explored. How exactly does the scent of frankincense purify the subtle channels? Ayurveda offers a complete and coherent system based on millennia of observation, while modern science is still carefully isolating the variables. Choose a scent that feels calming to you, the Veda advises. This is not about following a rigid rule. It is about listening to your own senses. Your body knows what it needs. Introduce one of these grounding scents into your evening ritual. Let it be the flag that signals the end of the day's battles. You have calmed your Vata with routine, with food, and with touch. Now you will calm it with scent, and next, with the most subtle medium of all, sound. Just as the mind is affected by what we see and smell, it is profoundly influenced by what we hear. The Veda says, her voice itself a demonstration of the principle low, steady, and calm. Sound is vibration, and the right kind of vibration can soothe the restless energy of Vata like nothing else. She explains that your state of Vata aggravation is a state of chaotic, irregular vibration. Your thoughts are noisy, your nerves are jangled. To bring balance, you must introduce a source of smooth, harmonious, and predictable vibration. This is the Ayurvedic science of sound healing. Your first prescription in this realm is simple silence. In a world of constant noise, she says, the most healing sound is often no sound at all. She encourages you to consciously create pockets of silence in your day, especially in the evening. This means turning off the television, the radio, the podcasts. It means resisting the urge to fill every quiet moment with auditory input, giving your ears and your Vata-driven mind a chance to rest from the endless barrage of information is a powerful therapy in itself. Beyond silence, she recommends listening to specific types of music that embody the qualities needed to pacify Vata. The music should be grounding, melodic, and have a slow, steady rhythm. The complex, frenetic, and unpredictable rhythms of much modern popular music, she notes, are highly Vata- aggravating. Instead, she suggests gentle classical music, slow instrumental pieces, or the specific category of Indian classical music known as Gandharva Veda. Gandharva Veda, she explains, is an ancient tradition of music that is designed to promote harmony and balance in the listener and in the environment. Each melody, or raga, has a specific structure of notes and is intended to be played at a specific time of day to correspond with the natural rhythms of nature. There are ragas for the morning, for the afternoon, and for the evening, each one designed to align you with the dominant Doshas energy of that time. Listening to a slow, gentle evening raga can be a beautiful and effortless way to lull your nervous system into a state of peace. Then, she introduces a more active form of sound therapy, the use of mantra. A mantra is a sacred word, sound, or phrase that is repeated silently or aloud. The word mantra can be broken down into manas, meaning mind, and tra, meaning to lore instrument. A mantra is a tool for the mind. It is very difficult to force the mind to be quiet, she says. Vata does not like a vacuum. If you try to empty your mind, the wind will simply rush in to fill the space with more worries. A mantra gives the restless mind a single, simple, harmonious thing to hold on to. It's like giving a restless child a smooth, polished tone to play with. She teaches you a simple, universal mantra so hung. It is a natural mantra, tied to the rhythm of your own breath. As you inhale, you silently think the sound so. As you exhale, you silently think the sound hum. So hum can be translated as I am that, a profound philosophical statement affirming your connection to the universal consciousness. But you don't need to focus on the meaning. She advises, just focus on the sound in the breath. Inhale so, exhale hum. Here's a curious detail that connects this ancient practice to modern neuroscience. The repetition of a mantra, whether chanted or thought, has been shown to have a powerful effect on the brain. It activates the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for that self-referential, mind-wandering chatter your 2 a.m. worry marathon. It also stimulates the vagus nerve, the primary nerve of the parasympathetic rest and digest system, leading to a lower heart rate, slower breathing, and a deep sense of calm. The ancient yogas who developed these practices may not have had the themes, but they clearly understood the mechanics of calming the human nervous system. The exact origins and power of specific mantras are, of course, a subject of deep spiritual and historical debate. Are the vibrations of certain Sanskrit syllables inherently powerful and transformative, as the tradition asserts, or is the benefit derived more from the act of focused repetition itself, regardless of the specific sound? It's a question that touches the line between science and mysticism. You do not need to chant for hours. The Veda says, just 5 minutes. Sit quietly before you sleep. Close your eyes, and just follow the breath with the sound. Sohan, it will slow the wind. It will smooth the rough vibrations. It will give your mind a safe and peaceful place to rest. You have learned to soothe Vata through all your senses. Now, you are ready to experience one of Ayurveda's most unique and profoundly relaxing therapies. There is one more therapy I would like to offer you. The Veda says, it is a very special and powerful treatment for calming the mind and soothing the entire nervous system. It is called Shirodhara. She leads you from her consultation room into another, smaller room. The air in here is even warmer, and the scent of warm sesame oil is more pronounced. In the center of the room is a low, wooden massage table, beautifully carved and polished, but it's why it's positioned above the table that catches your eye. Hanging from a simple, elegant stand is a large, shallow copper bowl. It looks like a piece of art, gleaming in the soft light. A small hole is drilled in the very bottom of the bowl, from which a thin piece of cotton string hangs down. This, the Veda explains, is the Shirodhara vessel. Shiro means head, and Dara means flow. You are about to have a continuous stream of warm, medicated oil poured onto your head, specifically onto your forehead. You lie down on the table, fully clothed except for your head and neck. The Veda places a small bolster under your neck for support and gently wraps a cloth band around your hairline to prevent oil from running into your eyes. She tells you to close your eyes, to breathe, and to do nothing at all. She then fills the copper bowl with warm, herb-infused sesame oil. The oil has been medicated with herbs known to calm the mind and nourish the nervous system. Like Brahmi and Ashwagandha, she positions the bowl so that the string hangs directly above the space between your eyebrows. This point, known as the Angel Chakra or the third eye, is considered a crucial gateway to the mind and a major center of subtle energy. And then, the flow begins. A thin, continuous, impossibly steady stream of warm oil begins to pour from the string onto your forehead. The sensation is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is not a drip, it is a constant, unbroken flow. The oil is heavy enough to feel grounding, but the stream is so fine that it's almost weightless. It is a steady, gentle, predictable pressure on a single point. The warmth of the oil spreads across your forehead, down your temples, and into your scalp. The sound of the oil streaming into a basin below the table is a soft, rhythmic, mesmerizing hum. There is nothing to do, nothing to think about. Your entire awareness, which is usually scattered in 1,000 different directions, is effortlessly drawn to this one single, blissful sensation. The racing thoughts, the endless to-do lists, the anxieties, they don't vanish in a flash. Instead, they simply lose their energy. They become like distant clouds on the horizon instead of the storm raging inside your head. The constant, rhythmic stimulation of the oil stream seems to override the chaotic, irregular patterns of your Vata minus driven mind. It's like a factory reset for your nervous system. Here's the part that is still a subject of scientific and historical fascination. How did anyone even think of this? The precision of the therapy is remarkable. The temperature of the oil, the height of the bowl, the steadiness of the stream, all these factors are crucial. It's a highly sophisticated piece of neuro-minus technology developed thousands of years ago. Modern studies using EEG to measure brainwaves during Shiradeha have shown that it promotes a state of deep relaxation, increasing the alpha waves associated with a calm, meditative awareness. It appears to synchronize the two hemispheres of the brain, creating a state of serene coherence. Why the forehead? This area is densely populated with nerve endings and is closely linked to the pituitary and pineal glands, key regulators of our hormones and sleep-wake cycles. The gentle pressure and warmth are thought to have a profound regulatory effect on the entire neuro-endocrine system. But the ancient texts speak of it in a more poetic language. They say Shiradeha Pacifyas, the mind-wind, nourishes the life-Vaspana, and allows for the experience of pure consciousness. The treatment lasts for about 20 or 30 minutes, but you lose all track of time. You are floating in a dark, peaceful space between waking and sleeping. When the flow of oil finally stops and the Vaidya gently wipes your forehead, you feel as though you are emerging from a long and profound dream. The frantic energy is gone, replaced by a deep, quiet, cellular level calm. You feel heavy, grounded, and utterly serene. This is the state we are aiming for. The Vaidya says softly as you sit up. This is what it feels like when the wind is calm. Now, we will give your body the internal support it needs to maintain this state. She is ready to introduce you to the herbal allies of Ayurveda, the ancient plants that will help you build this newfound serenity from the inside out. Back in the consultation room, you are enveloped in a state of deep, oily calm. The Shiradeha has quieted the storm. Now, the Vaidya explains, you must strengthen your system so it can better withstand the winds of daily life. It's time to talk about herbs. Ayurvedic herbs are not like pharmaceutical drugs. She clarifies, a drug is designed to force a specific chemical reaction in the body. These herbs are more like wise friends. They work gently, over time, to support your body's own innate intelligence and guide it back to balance. She reaches for a glass jar filled with a fine, brown powder. This, she says, is one of our most important allies for calming Vata and rebuilding a tired nervous system. This is Ashwagandha. The name itself tells a story. Ashwa is the Sanskrit word for horse, and G and Ha means smell. The fresh root of the plant is said to have the distinct aroma of horse urine, but more poetically, the name implies that by taking this herb, you can gain the vitality, strength, and stamina of a horse. It is one of the premier rasayanas, or rejuvenating tonics, in all of Ayurveda. Ashwagandha, known botanically as Withania somnifera, is a small, woody shrub with yellow flowers that grows in the dry regions of India. It's the root of the plant that is used in medicine. For thousands of years, it has been prescribed for a wide range of conditions related to stress, fatigue, and nervous exhaustion. It has a unique and powerful dual action. It simultaneously calms the nervous system and builds energy. It helps you sleep more deeply at night and gives you more sustained, stable energy during the day. It doesn't hype you up like caffeine. It builds your deep energy reserves. This is the genius of a category of herbs that modern science has named adaptogens. An adaptogen is a substance that helps the body adapt to stress. It works like a thermostat for your stress response, helping to regulate the hypothalamic minus pituitary minus adrenal HPA axis. When your stress hormones, like cortisol, are too high, an adaptogen helps to lower them. When they are too low, as in cases of burnout or adrenal fatigue, it helps to bring them back up. It modulates your response, helping you become more resilient to physical, mental, and emotional stresses. The Veda explains that for your Vata imbalance, Ashwagandha is the perfect medicine. It is warming, heavy, and sweet, the exact opposite qualities of Vata. It directly counters the cold, light, and dry nature of your anxiety. It soothes the jangled nerves, rebuilds the depleted tissues, and promotes the kind of deep, restorative sleep that you have been missing. Here's a specific detail from the classical texts. Ashwagandha is often prescribed to be taken with a carrier substance, or an apana, that helps to direct its effects. For calming the mind and promoting sleep, the traditional anapana is warm milk, often with a little honey and ghee. This warm, sweet, fatty mixture further enhances the Vata minus pacifying qualities of the herb, making the remedy even more grounding and nourishing. The amount of modern scientific research on ashwagandha is vast and growing. Numerous clinical trials have confirmed its effectiveness in reducing anxiety, lowering cortisol levels, improving sleep quality, and even enhancing cognitive function and physical performance. The debate among scientists is now focused on identifying the specific active compounds, though with a no leaders and understanding their precise mechanisms of action. But for the Veda, the herb cannot be reduced to its chemical parts. It has an intelligence, a probability, or unique energetic effect that is more than the sum of its molecules. It is the strength of a horse, a holistic gift from nature. This will not work overnight. The Veda cautions, this is not a sleeping pill. It is food for your nervous system. You must take it consistently, every day, for it to build its strength within you. She gives you a small bag of the fine, brownish powder. It smells earthy and slightly musky. It is the scent of deep, ancient resilience. This is the first of the herbal allies she will introduce you to. The next one is for your mind itself, a sacred plant to bring clarity to the chaos. While ashwagandha builds the strength of your whole system, the Veda says, there is another herb we use specifically to bring peace and clarity to the mind. It is the most revered of all our brain tonics. It is called Brahmi. She points to another jar, this one containing a fine, greenish powder. The name Brahmi, she explains, is derived from Brahman, the Hindu name for the ultimate, universal consciousness, and Brahma, the creator god. The name itself suggests the herb's profound purpose to elevate the mind and connect it to a state of higher awareness. It has been used for centuries by yogis to aid in meditation and by students and scholars to improve memory and concentration. The term Brahmi can be a little confusing, as it has historically been used to refer to two different plants. The most common and widely accepted Brahmi is Bacopa monnieri, a small, creeping succulent that grows in the wetlands and marshy areas of India. The other plant, sometimes called Brahmi, is Centella asiatic, also known as Gotokwa. Both are powerful brain tonics, but Bacopa is generally considered the primary herb for the job. The Veda explains that Brahmi's action is different from ashwagandha's. While ashwagandha is warming and heavy, Brahmi is cooling. This makes it particularly useful for a mind that is not just anxious Vata, but also agitated, fiery, and irritated of Vata minus Pitta combination. It cools the hot thoughts of anger and frustration, while simultaneously calming the windy thoughts of worry and fear. It is a tri minus doshi herb, meaning it is generally balancing for all three doshas, but it is especially beloved for its ability to clear the mind. Think of your racing Vata mind as a muddy, turbulent pond. Brahmi works like a clarifying agent. It doesn't forcefully stop the turbulence, but it helps the sediment, the mental AMA, to gently settle. It allows the natural clarity of the water, the natural clarity of your mind to emerge. It is said to improve the quality of consciousness, enhancing awareness, intelligence, buddhi, and the ability to learn and recall information. Here's a curious detail about how Brahmi is traditionally prepared and taken. It is often infused into ghee. The medicated ghee, known as Brahmi ghee, is a very popular preparation. The logic is that fat, particularly ghee, is an excellent medium for carrying the healing properties of herbs across the blood-brain barrier. The healthy fat acts as a delivery vehicle, taking the calming, clarifying essence of the Brahmi directly to the brain cells it is meant to nourish. Taking a teaspoon of this herbal ghee, often in warm milk, is a classic Ayurvedic remedy for mental fatigue, poor memory, and anxiety. Modern science has taken a great interest in Brahmi Bakupa. A significant body of research has validated its traditional uses. Studies have shown that it can enhance memory formation, improve attention, and reduce anxiety. The active compounds, known as bacosides, appear to work by improving the transmission of nerve impulses, repairing damaged neurons, and acting as powerful antioxidants in the brain. The ancient Vedas spoke of clearing the channels of the mindman over highest rotas. Modern neuroscientists speak of modulating synaptic activity and upregulating neuroprotective pathways. Once again, the languages are different, but the conversation is about the same thing. There is, of course, a slow and meticulous academic debate about the historical use of the two Brahmi plants. Did ancient texts clearly differentiate between Bacopa and Centella, or were they used interchangeably based on regional ability? Some textual analysis suggests that Bacopa was the primary herb for specific cognitive benefits, while Gotu Kaila was used more as a general nerve tonic. It's a puzzle that keeps herbal historians and ethnobotanists busy. Brahmi will not make your problems disappear, the Veda says, her voice bringing you back to the present moment. But it will help you to see them with more clarity and less agitation. It will help you to create a little bit of space between yourself and your thoughts. In that space, peace can begin to grow. She has given you herbs to strengthen your body and herbs to clarify your mind. Now, for the end of the day, she will give you a prescription that is both a medicine and a simple, comforting pleasure. It is a warm, golden drink, a final, loving gesture to prepare you for the night. Finally, the Veda says with a warm smile, I will give you a recipe for your evenings. A simple, comforting drink to take about an hour before you wish to sleep. We call it golden milk. This isn't just a pleasant bedtime beverage. It's a carefully constructed liquid medicine designed to pacify Vata, calm the mind, and gently induce a state of sleepy contentment. It's the perfect tapstone to your new evening ritual, a warm, internal companion to your external sanctuary. The base of the drink, she explains, is milk. In Ayurveda, cow's milk when sourced from happy, well-treated cows and properly digested is considered a powerful rosayana, or rejuvenative tonic. It is sweet, heavy, and cooling, possessing qualities that deeply nourish the body's tissues, especially the nervous system. For a depleted Vata system, a cup of warm milk is like a liquid help. It's important that the milk be warm, she stresses. Cold milk is heavy and difficult to digest, and can increase the cold quality of Vata. But the milk is just the carrier. The real magic comes from the spices. The star of golden milk is turmeric. She points to a jar of the vibrant, yellow-orange powder. Turmeric is one of nature's greatest gifts, she says. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory, a gentle detoxifier, and it has a subtle calming effect on the mind. The bright golden color of the finished drink comes from this remarkable root. Next, she adds a pinch of freshly ground black pepper. This is a crucial and fascinating detail of Ayurvedic formulation. Black pepper, she explains, contains a compound called piperine. On its own, the active compound in turmeric, curcumin, is not very bioavailable, meaning your body has a hard time absorbing it. The piperine in black pepper dramatically increases that absorption by up to 2000% according to some studies. The ancient Vedas may not have known the words piperine and curcumin, but they knew, through thousands of years of observation, that adding a pinch of pepper made the turmeric work much, much better. It's a brilliant piece of ancient pharmacology. Then, for your specific Vata imbalance, she recommends a generous grating of nutmeg. Nutmeg, she says, is one of our most effective natural sedatives, but it must be used with respect. A small amount, like the quarter of a teaspoon you would use in your milk, is deeply calming and promotes sound, dream-filled sleep. In large quantities, however, it can be toxic and over-stimulating. It's a perfect example of the Ayurvedic principle that the dose makes the poison or the medicine. To this golden concoction, she suggests adding other warming, Vata-pacifying spices like a pinch of cinnamon or cardamom or flavor and digestive support. A small amount of a healthy fat, like a half-teaspoon of ghee or almond oil, can also be added. Just like with the herbal preparations, the fat helps to carry the properties of the spices deeper into the system and adds to the unctuous, grounding quality of the drink. Finally, if you need a little sweetness, a small amount of raw honey can be stirred in after the milk has cooled slightly. Ayurveda teaches that heating honey to high temperatures creates AMF, or toxins. The ongoing scientific conversation about golden milk is robust. Turmeric is one of the most studied herbs on the planet, with thousands of papers published on its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and neuroprotective effects. The synergistic relationship between curcumin and piperine is well established, and nutmeg's sedative properties are also recognized, attributed to compounds like myristic in that have a mild tranquilizing effect on the central nervous system. There is, however, a quaint historical debate about the authenticity of the modern, Instagram-famous turmeric latte. While the core ingredients are ancient, the modern cafe version, often made with plant-based milks and loaded with sweeteners, is a far cry from the simple, medicinal preparation the Veda is describing. The Ayurvedic version is less of a trendy beverage and more of a purposeful, therapeutic ritual. This is your final act of self-care for the day. The Veda concludes. As you sip your warm golden milk in your quiet evening sanctuary, you are sending one last, clear message to your body and mind. You are telling them that they are safe, that they are nourished, that the whirlwind of the day is over, and it is now time to rest. This comforting ritual addresses your mind and your nerves, but there is one last piece of the puzzle to address, the very foundation of your health, the place where your Vata imbalance truly began. We have spoken about many things, the Veda says, her hands resting calmly on the desk, your routine, your food, your mind. But all of these things are connected to one central, fundamental power in your body. We must talk about your Agni. Agni, she explains, is the Sanskrit word for fire. In Ayurveda, it refers to much more than just the flame in a fireplace. Agni is the fire of intelligence within every cell of your body. It is the power of transformation. Its most obvious form is your digestive fire, the fire in your stomach that breaks down the food you eat. But there is also an Agni in your liver that processes toxins, an Agni in your mind that digests thoughts and experiences, and an Agni in your eyes that digests latent visual information. Agni is the engine of all metabolism and transformation. The state of your Agni, she says, is the single most important determinant of your health. When your Agni is strong and balanced, you can digest food, thoughts, and experiences efficiently. You create nourishment, energy, and clarity. When your Agni is weak or disturbed, your digestion is incomplete. And what is the result of incomplete digestion? Ayame, There it is again. That crucial concept. The sticky, toxic sludge. A weak Agni is the root cause of IMA production. It's like a weak campfire that can't properly burn the logs you put on it. Instead of clean heat and light, you get a lot of smoke and half-minus burnt, sooty residue. That smoke and soot is IMA, and that IMA, she explains, is what is clogging the subtle channels of your body and mind, causing the wind of Vata to become trapped in Dirati. This is the Ayurvedic explanation for the gut-brain axis. The fire in your gut is directly connected to the clarity of your mind. A weak, gassy, bloated digestive system, a sign of disturbed Agni, will inevitably lead to a foggy, anxious, and restless mind. To fix your sleep, you must first fix your digestion. This is a core principle you might not have expected when you first walked in. You came in with a mental problem, and a large part of the prescription is for your stomach. She explains that everything they have discussed is, in fact, designed to protect and strengthen your Agni. The Dinacharya, or daily routine, eating your main meal at midday when Agni is strongest, supports your digestive fire. The Vata- pacifying diet, eating warm, cooked, easy to digest foods like khichdi prevents you from overwhelming a weak Agni. The self-massage with warm oil, the API helps to calm the nervous system, which is intimately linked to digestive function. A stressed system cannot digest properly. Even the herbs like Ashwagandha and spices like ginger and black pepper have a heating quality that helps to gently stoke the digestive fire. Here's a subtle but fascinating aspect of Agni. Ayurveda describes not just one, but 13 different types of Agni in the body. There is the main digestive fire in the stomach, Agni. 5 elemental fires that transform the basic elements in the liver, NIS. And 7 tissue-level fires that are responsible for building each of the 7 body tissues, from plasma to bone to reproductive fluid, DHATUNS. A disruption in the main fire can, over time, lead to disruptions in all the downstream metabolic processes. The deep connection between gut health and mental health is a major frontier in modern medical research. Scientists are exploring how the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines, produces neurotransmitters like serotonin and communicates directly with the brain. Chronic stress, poor diet, and inflammation in the gut are now being directly linked to conditions like depression and anxiety. This ancient Ayurvedic concept of Agni as the seat of both physical and mental well-being is being validated in the language of microbes and molecules. The debate isn't whether the connection exists, but how best to modulate it. Ayurveda offers a 5-0-year-old roadmap. Do not worry about becoming an expert on Agni. The Veda reassures you. Simply understand the principle. Everything you do, ask yourself, will this support my inner fire, or will it dampen it? A strong, bright Agni is the source of all vitality. It burns away the toxins, it illuminates the mind, and it is the ultimate source of a peaceful night's sleep. Your job is to be its gentle caretaker. You finally understand that the journey to a peaceful mind is not a direct flight. It's a winding, gentle path that starts in the very center of your body. As your consultation with the Veda draws to a close, the final, crucial understanding begins to settle in your mind. You came here looking for a cure, a solution to the problem you labeled insomnia. But Ayurveda is not offering you a cure, at least not in the modern sense of the word. It is offering you something far more profound, and perhaps a little more demanding, a path to balance. There is no magic pill, the Veda says, her words confirming your realization. There is no single treatment that will fix you overnight, because you are not broken. You are simply out of balance. This is not a battle to be won. It is a dance to be learned. This is a fundamental shift in perspective. The modern, allopathic approach to medicine often frames illness as an enemy to be defeated. You fight a disease. You kill the bacteria. You attack the cancer cells. This can be an incredibly effective and life-saving approach, but it is, at its core, a language of warfare. The Ayurvedic approach, particularly for chronic, lifestyle-related imbalances like yours, is one of diplomacy and gentle persuasion. The goal is not to eradicate the symptom by force, but to understand what is causing it and to gently remove the cause. You are not fighting your Vata. You are creating the conditions for it to return to its natural, harmonious state. You are not silencing your anxiety. You are listening to what it is telling you about your lifestyle and making adjustments. The state of balance is not a destination you arrive at one day and then stay there forever. She explains, it is a dynamic, moment process. It is a continuous act of listening and responding to the needs of your body, which are always changing with the seasons, with your age, and with the circumstances of your life. This means that the prescriptions she has given you are not a rigid, lifelong sentence. They are a set of tools. When you feel the wind of Vata rising, when your thoughts start to race, when your skin feels dry, when you feel that familiar hum of anxiety, you now have your toolkit. You know to lean into routine. You know to eat warm, grounding foods. You know to perform the loving ritual of Adhyaya. You know which herbs and scents will bring you back to center. You have been empowered with knowledge, not just handed a prescription. Here's a beautiful concept from Ayurvedic philosophy as Vasta. This is the Sanskrit word for health. It is often translated as to be established in the self. Health is not merely the absence of disease. It is the state of being firmly rooted in your own unique, essential nature. The entire purpose of the Ayurvedic lifestyle is to help you remain established in yourself, so you can fulfill your purpose in life with vitality and joy. This holistic, long-term perspective is something that is often debated and sometimes criticized in the context of modern healthcare. Is it practical? Is it efficient? In a world that values quick fixes and immediate results, the slow, gentle, and deeply personal approach of Ayurveda can seem out of step. A patient might come in wanting a pill for their headache, and instead, they are given a 2-hour consultation about their diet, emotions, and daily habits. It requires a significant investment of time and personal responsibility. Yet, for chronic conditions rooted in lifestyle and stress, this comprehensive approach is proving to be remarkably effective and sustainable. The Vaidya stands up, signaling the end of your time together. Do not feel overwhelmed, she says, centering your thoughts. Do not try to do everything at once. This is a journey of 1,000 small steps. Start with one thing. Maybe it's the tongue scraping. Maybe it's the golden milk. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient. Your body has an incredible, innate wisdom. It knows how to heal. Your job is simply to create the right conditions and then get out of the way. You leave her clinic and step back out onto the noisy street. The sounds and smells are the same, but you are different. The world hasn't changed, but your way of relating to it has. You are not just a tired, anxious person anymore. You are a person who understands the dance of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. You are a person who knows how to calm the wind. You have been given not a cure, but a compass. And tonight, for the first time in a long time, you feel a genuine sense of hope that you will be able to find your way back to the peaceful, quiet land of sleep. That evening, you decide to begin. You don't try to do everything at once. You just choose a few simple things. An hour before your desired bedtime, you consciously put your phone away, plugging it into charge across the room. The initial urge to check it is strong, a familiar twitch in your thumb, but you resist. The silence feels strange at first, almost too loud. You dim the lights in your room, creating a soft, warm glow. You put on some of the gentle, instrumental music the Vaidya recommended. The melody is slow and simple, weaving a blanket of calm through the quiet air. You make your way to the kitchen and begin the ritual of the golden milk. You warm the milk gently on the stove. Watching it carefully, you add the vibrant turmeric, the pinch of black pepper, the dusting of cinnamon, and the precious grating of nutmeg. The kitchen fills with a warm, spicy, comforting aroma as you stir the golden liquid. The simple, repetitive motion is a meditation in itself. You are not just making a drink, you are preparing a medicine. You are actively participating in your own healing. You pour the warm, fragrant milk into your favorite mug and take it back to your bedroom sanctuary. You sip it slowly, feeling its warmth spread from your stomach through your entire body. It tastes of comfort, of ancient wisdom, of self minus care. It is profoundly and deeply satisfying. Afterwards, you sit on the edge of your bed and practice the simple Soham meditation. You close your eyes. You don't try to force your thoughts away. You just let them be, like clouds in the sky, and you focus on your breath. Inhale. So, the rhythm is slow, natural, and grounding. The mental chatter, the Vata wind, doesn't have a frantic storm to feed on anymore. It finds a smooth, steady rhythm to follow, and slowly, gently, it begins to settle. Finally, you slide into bed. The sheets feel cool and welcoming. The room is dark and quiet. Your body feels heavy, grounded, and warm. Your mind, for the first time in what feels like forever, is not a battleground. It is quiet. There is a deep, peaceful stillness you haven't felt in years. You don't fall asleep instantly. That was never the promise. But you don't toss and turn. You don't get lost in loops of worry. You simply lie there, in a state of serene, oily, golden calm. You are aware of your breath moving in undoubt. You are aware of the deep comfort in your limbs. You are aware of the profound peace that has settled over you. And then, at some point, without struggle or effort, you simply drift away. You slip, like a boat untying from a dock, into the deep, dark, peaceful waters of sleep. It is not the drop, heavy, unconsciousness of a sleeping pill. It is a natural, restorative, and profoundly healing rest. Your sleep is deep and dream-filled. When you wake in the morning, you don't feel the familiar grogginess or the immediate surge of anxiety. You feel rested, truly rested. The world outside your window seems a little brighter, the air a little fresher. The quiet contentment of the night before has carried over into the dawn. You know this is not a final victory. It is simply the first successful step in a long and gentle dance. There will be other nights when the wind picks up again. There will be other days when life feels chaotic and overwhelming. But now, you are no longer powerless. You are no longer a victim of your own restless mind. You have been given a toolkit of quaint and timeless cures. You have learned the art of living in rhythm, of calming the wind, of tending to your inner fire. You have discovered that the path to a quiet mind is not a war to be fought, but a garden to be cultivated, with patience, with love, and with the gentle, persistent wisdom of the ages. You have learned the art of peaceful sleep. And so, the quiet wisdom of the Veda begins to merge with your own sleepy thoughts. The memory of the golden milk, the scent of the sandalwood, the gentle flow of the Shirodeha oil, they all become one. A soft, warm, golden light that suffuses your awareness. The clear distinction between the story and your own feelings begins to blur, as your mind lets go of the day, lets go of the narrative, and prepares to drift. The dance of the Doshas slows to a graceful pause. Vata's wind becomes a gentle, cooling breeze. Pitta's fire softens to the warm, steady glow of a candle. Kapha's earth becomes the soft, supportive ground beneath you. All is in harmony. All is at peace. You are floating now, in a tranquil sea of your own making, buoyed by the ancient, loving hands of this gentle science. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to learn. There is only the steep, profound, and easy descent into the world of dreams. The end of the article. Good night.